Hi, I'm Shawna Schuh, Women in the Pet Industry Network president, and I'm whipped into a frenzy to be here with Celeste Powers. And she's going to tell a little bit about herself, but we're doing this to talk about leadership to help you. Hi, Celeste.
Hi, Shawna.
So tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do.
I am the new president of the Pet Industry Distributor Association.
Bravo!
Yay! I know. They're a 50-year-old, now 51-year-old organization,
Wow.
and just took over a few months back. And I'm, an important part of what I do is promoting wholesale distribution, as well as the importance of the human-animal bond. So, I'm really focused on doing that, as well as promoting our online education, Pet Store Pro.
And one thing that Celeste and I talked a little bit ahead of time is how vital distributors are. And many of you already know this. And if you don't know anything about it, you can go on their website to actually get education, but more importantly, do research. It's crazy great. So you want to say your website?
Is PIDA.org.
All right. Now, what do you consider the best trait that a leader should have?
The best trait I think a leader should have is compassion. I think you really want to, be able to work with your team and to be able to listen and not just dictate. And I think if you have compassion, that really helps you build the network with your staff.
First of all, I love compassion, the word compassion, and I think people with pets have a bit.
They have a lot of compassion.
I could be biased. All right. What do you think? Do you think that most leaders would do better if they had a pet? And if so, why?
Oh, yes, definitely. I think most leaders really need a pet because, we're so focused in our daily lives on, stress and handling challenges. And when you have a pet, you go home and it just frees you mentally to focus on that unconditional love, as well. It's great for your health. If you have a dog, to take the dog out and get exercise, or even other pets that you might be running around the house with. So I think for leaders, it's good for us to step away from our daily stresses, and a pet does that for us.
Excellent. And I think stress is one of the biggest killers, so well said. What do you think is the biggest blind spot for most leaders?
If they don't change. I really think that a leader will be very challenged if they will not adapt to a changing environment. Again, we see that in the pet industry with consolidation, and that applies to other industries. But, I think my philosophy has always been, well, just because we've always done it that way doesn't mean it's the right way to do it. You need to look at it. So I do think all leaders always need to have an open mind to change.
Excellent. And who, in your opinion, not just in the pet space, would you consider an exemplary leader? Someone who you've admired?
Not just in the pet space.
Yeah, any leader.
Oh, gosh. That one, I have to think about it. I mean, there's so many different leaders. I mean, I would, I don't know if we consider her a leader, but I find Oprah Winfrey really.
I think she's
yeah,
a leader. Oh
yeah. Well, I mean, people might be like, wait, but I mean, she's so inspiring. I was just watching recently her Soul Sunday programs, I think it is, and I mean, how she just motivates people and has such an open mind. Again, that leadership quality,
right.
And then going back to compassion. Oprah is so compassionate that I think it goes such a long way when she meets with people.
Perfect. And then what do you do to increase your skill level? What do you do as a leader?
As a leader, I mean, important for me as an association executive is to always continue my education, to learn more about being a professional and what I can bring to my organization. But I also think really key is peer-to-peer networking. I think networking is so important for all of us to, learn from others, the good and the bad and so forth. So, I really make a big effort for that kind of networking.
Perfect. And so here's the last question. And you've been great already. And thank you for watching, them watching, and you doing a great job. What advice would you give an upcoming leader?
To learn. I think all of us, as to become a leader and continue to grow as a leader, you need to learn. You have to have an open mind. You want to be able to meet with all the partners in an industry. So for me here, it's been getting to know the different organizations in the pet space, as well as the leading distributors and manufacturers. And by learning, that's how, again, we all grow as leaders. So
Absolutely.
Getting involved and learning, I think, are so important for leaders.
All right, so here's what I heard, and I hope you heard this as well. Number one, when you're learning, you're going to be open to change. And so I think she exemplifies this very, very well. And you have a brand new role, which means you're learning like crazy.
Yes, yes.
And so if you haven't had a chance to go over to the Distributors Association, give us the email one more time.
It is PIDA.org.
All right, PIDA.org. So this is Celeste Powers. She's fabulous, and she's brand new in her role. And so let's all send big wishes out to Celeste. Thanks so much. Thanks for being with
Thanks,
us.
Shawna. This is great. Thank you. Bye.